Hello and welcome to Gangs All Here. I'm Ryan Sampson, the host and producer of the show. I'm joined by Jets all-time great wide receiver Wayne Chrebet here on the Gangs All Here. Wayne joins us on behalf of DraftKings Sportsbook. You can visit DraftKings all season long for the latest NFL odds, promotions, and much more. We appreciate Wayne giving us some time here. Wayne, before we do anything here, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Sometimes you don't look forward to conversations about what's going on with the team, but I'm very excited right now. I'd like to talk about it. I think the first week went well. No more victories, but a lot of good things to take from it.
I can already tell you're believing in your former teammate, your Jet teammate Aaron Glenn, and the message that he's providing for this team. So let's get into it. Before the season, you've been teammates with Aaron for 7 years when you were playing with the Jets. Did you always know that he was going to be a head coach and that this is what he ultimately wanted to be back in your playing days?
He's always been a natural born leader, student of the game, great competitor. If you think about it, he's the left corner. I'm the right receiver. I went against him maybe 2,500, 3,000 times between one-on-one, 7-on-7, 2-minute drill. So I know what kind of competitor he is. And the good thing about him, he started in scouting. So he knows how to evaluate talent. He's not a 9 to 5 guy. I'm going to work till the job gets done.
Mm.
And I just like he's taken a little bit of coaching from some of the guys he coached with or by. But yeah, he's a tremendous competitor, really smart, and the guy to bring the Jets back to where we should be.
Yeah, well, listen, week one was really exciting, but I do want to highlight the culture, right? Like we always talk about culture with football teams. This Jets franchise has gone through it recently, the longest playoff drought. As a dire Jets fan myself, I grew up watching you, Aaron Glenn. You guys were my favorite players. Curtis Martin was one of my favorite players. Like that was culture back then. This feels like Aaron Glenn's trying to establish his own culture here. Did you get that sense even just after 1 week of playing that this Jets culture is starting to shift here?
I got it at his press conference. I sat in the front row next to his family, and he brought up, I came here to finish what we did in 1998 when we got close and we went to Denver. And he pointed it out. I'm like, yeah, he started having all the screens around the complex, playing our back then when teams were good because he's like, people don't know if people haven't been around, they don't know when you were good. So he's playing those highlights. But yeah, he changed it right away. When he said, and he's honest about it. What do you want to do? He's like, I'm a Jet. I want people to remember that and watch the games and know what they're going to get. To be honest with you, I don't want to badmouth anybody, but last year you just had a bunch of guys with popular names on the back of their jerseys but they weren't a team. Now they're a team. We're doing one-on-one tackling drills. He's getting fired up. Offense and defense are in sync. The culture has changed, and I think everybody saw that Sunday.
Yes, you could feel it just through the TV screen, just and watching the film, the way this team plays, the physicality. You see it on the field. There's just difference here. But the one example that a lot of fans are pointing out to is this week what just happened. Aaron Glenn decides to cut his kick returner and punt returner Xavier Gipson after a costly fumble this past Sunday. He said after the game on Sunday, you will not be on the field if you're going to, and we're going to be a disciplined team. You're not going to be on the field if you're going to be causing us to lose games. So what did you make of Glenn taking a swift action and saying, Gibson, you're gone, and you cost us the game on Sunday?
There hasn't been consequences in a long time, and if you're not fearing for your job, your livelihood, he'll go somewhere else and play. He's a good player, but there's probably a little more behind it. I didn't think he was going to make the team,
Mm.
Gibson. Anyway, they cut some good guys, put some guys on practice squad. But yeah, listen, that there's other plays, but that lost momentum, big play. Why we lost, and he's honest. That's what he's going to do. He did it. Parcells used to do something like that, but he'd cut somebody you were like, wow, I can't believe he cut him. And you keep on the toes, man. You're like, I got to do my job. I'm not going to do stupid penalties. We had so many rough in the passers, late hits, this and that. get rid of those, you give yourself a lot better chance to win when you're not killing yourself, you know?
No, I completely agree, and I we could see Aaron Glenn kind of channeling that Bill Parcells in the way he's trying to run this thing right now with the Jets. Uh, my next question is, the positives here. The Jets offense looked efficient and effective on Sunday. Something that was a big question mark heading into this season is how is Justin Fields? How is this offense going to run? We knew they were going to try and run the ball a bunch, and they did, Wayne, on Sunday. They ran very effectively. The offensive line looked great. What did you take away from the entire offensive performance between Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, and this rushing attack?
Yeah, listen, he didn't lie. He said we're gonna rush ball. He's like, get behind those big tackles. Membu had a tremendous game. The whole line did. One sack, right? They had one
Yep.
sack. He got out of a lot of pressure. But there's always a chance to make a play with Justin Fields. Brees was involved. He did great. One of his better games ever. Braylon got involved, but he spread the ball around. I was looking at it. Uh, Garrett had 7 catches but only 9 targets. So he wasn't forcing to him. And that touchdown throw, how he dropped it in there, a little to the right, he can get, DB can get there. It just floated it over. And that just give your receivers a chance. He was on time and didn't panic. He didn't have a happy feet in there. But when he took off, it's like he's going to go 50 at some point this year. We've never had that where we got a quarterback that could keep it and make a big play like that. That is a massive weapon. Why do you think Aaron signed him? Because he had to go against him twice a year, so he knows how hard it is to stop him.
Yeah, I mean, it you could see it, and I again, I get so excited when I watch that Justin Fields can make so many plays. I was really impressed just from picking apart in the pocket. I mean, the throws over the middle to Reynolds, hitting on the back shoulder of Ruckert on another throw, placing it away from the linebacker. I thought he threw so well and just made the right decision again and again and again. And I also thought on the read option, that part of that game, that offense, there were some times where he didn't even make the right decision. And I think if he continues to watch the film and study and practice the read option, they're going to be even more explosive on the ground with Brees Hall and him running the ball.
That's a mesh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just practice. Obviously, reading the end and all that stuff. But when you got these guys like Brees and Brent, they're going north south. They're getting downhill fast, and they know the hole's going to be there, so they don't slow down. And they're on the safety quick. Yeah, it's just different. It takes a while, but the first game they came out and they did a really good job with that.
Well, the other part I want to talk to you, and you mentioned about the deep touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson signed an extension this offseason. You played your entire career with the Jets. I think Jets fans are excited to see Garrett Wilson hopefully play his entire career with the Jets. What do you think of Garrett long term? Can this guy be an all-time great in Jets history?
I'm going to go back to that because I want to start with something. The big thing when I sat down with AG, I went a couple times. I went before training camp. I want to help anytime I can, maybe behind the scenes. But he said the biggest thing is letting guys know, that we're going to keep our guys. And it started with Sherwood, signing him, re-signing him. We're going to take care of our guys. He took care of Garrett and Sauce. After 3 years, you're not even playing the fourth. He's like, we want you here. Let's do it now. There was no drama in training camp. There was no holdouts like McLaurin and these guys. No holdouts. No, because you got to talk. They ask you every day, oh, when's he going to come? There was none of that. 100%, people coming. But Garrett's awesome. I've got a chance to talk to him. I didn't know him. And whenever I go to practice at training camp by my son, and they're like, do you want to meet anybody? And I never wanted to talk to anybody. I said, you know what? I'd like to meet Garrett last year. He sat and talked with me and my son, who plays college football as a receiver. The nicest guy, and he just plays hard. And the fact that he's going to be there, I said, listen, if you win a Super Bowl here, you're like a legend. You know what I mean? Icon, like you're on the Mount Rushmore. And he's going to be a major reason why. And yeah, I'm a massive, massive fan of him. And I actually his dad was at the game last week, and I was like, you know what? I made a point running up to him to say, I love your son, man. I am so happy he's in the New York Jet.
That's an awesome story, and thank you for sharing that. I mean, it gets me fired up. Like Garrett is so fun, and he's easy to root for as a fan myself to watch him on the field. And he's so special. Even with the ball in his hands, at yards after the catch, his route running I think is really well done, and he just has that ability to get separation. Overall, Wayne, for you, what are your expectations for this Jets team the rest of the season? Even after seeing just 1 week of what they've done, what are you expecting from them, man?
You know, it'd been great to get that first one. So since they played so well, let me put 32 on the board. Defense didn't score, special teams didn't score, nor did we get the ball like inside their 10 on the, I mean, it was well earned. And a big thing with that is just they were on the field. Last year it's like defense, big stop, we give it up in three or up, or fumble early. And defense is like, well, we just sat down. Can we get a drink? So the fact that you have the ball and time of possession, just everything kind of meshed. And after all this, it took a 60-yard field goal to beat us. You know what I mean?
And
It
that
happened.
lucky catch from DK, it bounces off three different guys back into DK's hands on that drive. It just felt
Yeah.
like, oh, that's how we're going to lose this game.
Yeah. So, it shows you can see AG, the fire, and it's a knock them down, dust them off kind of thing with guys who had mistakes. But they're aggressive when they make mistakes. You know what I mean? So yeah, with Buffalo this week, we do well versus Buffalo. We play well versus them my whole career. So they're the team to beat, and they're not taking it serious.
No,
No one's taking it serious, and that's a good thing. But they're going to learn real quick that when they see us on the schedule, you know, we're not a gimme. We're not a gimme right now.
well, that was where I was going to go here. Like this is Bills week. This is your rival. This is the team that's won the division for the last 6 years in a row. What are they getting extra motivated for this week? I mean, you're like you said. Did you ever get really motivated to play the Bills when you saw them coming up on your schedule?
Yeah, anytime the Bills buying, division games, AFC East, the whole AFC, you have to win these games. You have to have these tiebreakers. You got to win all the East games at home and try to get some on the road. But yeah, we play well versus them. We match up well, and we got a big win against them. With Gibson's punt return at 1 week. So yeah, they're coming in. They think they're the top in the East, and that's it. Everybody else is behind them. But listen, we got something for them. It's good. No one's expecting anything from us. We don't have all those prime time games and this and that. So I hope they underestimate us because this is gonna be a great game.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And I do have a little bit of trivia for you here, Wayne. Do you know how many touchdown catches you have in your career versus the Buffalo Bills?
No, I was saying it was probably a majority, between them and Miami. But I loved playing versus Buffalo. And I was joking, if I played just Buffalo and Miami my whole career, I'd be first ballot, one of the best ever because I loved playing against them. Going up to Buffalo, wet, damp fans, are what they are. Freaking Buffalo video going when they do kickoffs. So, yeah, I hope we take it to them. But yeah, I think I had a lot versus them, and yeah, it was a great time playing them.
Well, you had 6 touchdown catches in your career against the Buffalo Bills, 8 with against the Dolphins. You loved getting up against these AFC East teams and
Yeah.
showing out. And Wayne, I can't thank you enough, man, for jumping on here. Gang's all here.
Hey, real quick,
Yeah,
back to the DraftKings thing. I know that, and I was just making fun. Not making fun. I was talking about, you could bet the game. I think they said the spread was 6.5,
yes.
and like plus 250. I'm like, if you're gonna bet the Jets, take the money line. Don't bet them to like it'll be close at the end. Maybe I wouldn't. No, you bet the money line. You want it to be close. It's just funny that people are like, I'll take the spread just in case or buy the points now. Jets money line to beat the Bills. That's my advice. But yeah, this is great talking to you. I love the questions. Hopefully you'll have me on again. one of these times after a Buffalo win or something.
I'll tell you what, Wayne, we'll welcome you anytime. And Jets fans, that's some good gambling advice right there from Wayne Chrebet, representing DraftKings. Obviously, Jets fans, NFL fans, you can always visit DraftKings all season long for the latest NFL odds, promotions, and more. Wayne Chrebet, we appreciate you, man, and we can't wait to talk to you next time.
Thank you so much.